So, the Empress of Turd Mountain, otherwise known as Lady COLLIN C, has not died. She has not died. She does look a trifle strange, I would say, very, very stiff in her chair, as though I didn't watch the full video. Maybe she got up and she did some yoga poses and some what's the other thing these privileged girls like to do? They do their yoga and they do their pilates, etc., etc. Maybe she got up and she did some of that and really showed her flexibility. But if not, I would say she looks suspiciously stiff. You guys, has something happened to her? I mean, I'm not like saying it to rejoice, but because never do that with someone else's health. But um, she looks suspiciously stiff, as if something happened that has rendered her body stiff, if you know what I mean, like a stroke or something like that. I don't know, but she looks very, very stiff. And, she's like lifeless. She used to be. I saw the last time I saw maybe a snippet of one of her videos. It was at least maybe 2, 3 years ago. She was more spritey then, she had pep. But now she looks just like stiff, like a stiff little old lady, barely able to speak in her just she's so stiff. What happened to the Empress of Turd Mountain, the Lady COLLIN C, who spends her days terrorizing the Duchess of Sussex, right? So anyway, she's filled of praise. That would be the Empress of Turd Mountain for Kate and the royal family. She's talking about Kate's jewels and her tiara. And apparently there's a German state visit, which I was privy to, because I believe I mentioned it in another video. But I have noticed that the media hasn't really been saying much about this state visit, which is a big visit. It's like a big deal. They pulled out all the white horses. When the white horses come out, it's like a big deal. I mean, and so they paraded around with the white horses. I mean, they've got them over in Windsor. Kate and according to the Empress of Turd Mountain over here, Lady COLLIN C, um, Kate and Camilla were wearing such big tiaras. It was like a duel to see who could wear the biggest, most sparkling tiara. So it's a very, very big deal. But is it me, or has there been a dearth of coverage by the media, all media, but in particular the UK media, whose job it is to promote the royal family and what they do, their soft power to the rest of the world? But they haven't been doing that. They've been rather remiss. They have been concentrating on Meghan's show, Meghan's With Love Meghan holiday special. They have been concentrating on Harry's appearances, whether in Canada or on the Stephen Colbert Show. They have been concentrating on, as ever, chocolates. They've been really hyper concentrating on Meghan and her show and her jewelry while cooking and this, that, and the third, but nothing on the royal family, the working royals, those who are left behind to carry on the legacy of this imperial house. It's very, very, I think at this point, insulting. It's very, very insulting that the media is paying so little attention to Kate and Camilla and Charles and William. But anyway, the imperial Empress of Turd Mountain, Lady C, she apparently claims that Megan's father has lost his leg below the knee. Um, wow, I hadn't heard that. My first sort of knee jerk was, what does that, okay, it's sad, but what does it have to do with Megan? I mean, the fact that he lost a leg doesn't change how he, basically sold her out to dry. I mean, let her down, on her wedding day, and otherwise threw her to the wolves. I mean, suddenly he lost her leg, so none of that happened. I don't think it works that way. I mean, he lost her leg. Could she be like, "Oh, daddy, I'm sorry you lost your leg"? Maybe. I mean, look, but I don't know the intricacies of this relationship and what really caused it to go as south as it went. So I can suggest that, Megan is obliged to contact someone who has hurt her so deeply, clearly, and who has sold her out to dry, and who has exhibited preferential treatment for some children over others, and, who's just publicly, you know, almost destroyed that girl's reputation in the public sphere. So he lost his leg. I mean, look, I don't wish that on anybody. Um, that's not good for something like that to happen to anyone. And so I'm not going to, rejoice about it. But to bring this up as though Megan is the heavy, I mean, for having her Christmas special, which was planned months and months in advance, for not being in the Philippines. She never told this guy to move to the Philippines. He moved to the Philippines on his own volition with his adult son, who is his caretaker. And, they're running things. If his finances, this guy is like his father's guardian, Megan's half sibling.